Alright, now we started. Anybody want to go first?
Pick me!
Alright, the one in the pink dress.
Oh, they mean me! Yay!
Now do the Miss America smile and cry.
I'm so honored.
Like the song.
Now we save the world. We blow up the tower. There will be world peace. Alright. I'm sorry, I love me some Novacom. Let's see. I have episode 49, and it's called Thank You God. The theme is Thanksgiving, salvation, and making the best of a bad situation. The scripture verse for it was Romans 8:24 and Ephesians 5:20. It was written and directed by Phil Lawler. Production engineer was Bob Luttrell. I sound like Chris. Production engineer was Bob Luttrell. The original air date was 11/19/88. It says it's Thanksgiving, and Whit has invited Connie and her mom June, along with Tom Riley, his wife Agnes, and two Whits in for dinner. While the Rileys, let me try that again. With the Rileys is a boy named Rodney. See, my brain went to Rodney Redstone, and I was like, wait, with the Rileys is a boy named Rodney? With the Rileys is a boy named Rodney. He's without a family today because his father is traveling and his mother abandoned him when he was a small child. Before everyone sits down to eat, Whit asks them to participate in a tradition his wife started years earlier. On each plate is a kernel of corn. Whit passes around a basket, and each person is to place a kernel of corn in the basket and tell the things in which they are thankful for. Many of the answers are predictable. Connie and June are thankful for each other, and Tom and Agnes, and Tom is also thankful for the time of year. But Rodney says his lack of family leaves him without anything to be thankful for. Whit disagrees. He says that as a Christian, Rodney can give thanks in all situations, even difficult ones. To illustrate, Whit recounts via flashback a story of his stepmother, Fiona Donlaurel. I can't pronounce her last name. Somebody correct me when you get it. She was a devoted Christian woman who did her best to raise Whit after his real mother died. They lived in a rural northern Carolina where Whit's father was a professor at Duke University. Whit and Fiona, my cat. Sorry, my cat just popped his head over the book and looked at me. Whit and Fiona did many things together, including riding horses. As they rode one afternoon, Fiona's horse galloped under a tree and she was knocked out by a low-hanging branch. When she awoke later, she had lost her sight. Young Whit was devastated. First, he had to deal with his natural mother's death and now his stepmother's blindness. But Fiona's Christian faith gave her courage and the ability to cope. She pulled both of them through the difficult times. Her faith was so great that it helped lead young Whit to Jesus, which is what his kernel of corn represented. Fiona's story inspired Rodney, who decided he really does have much to be thankful for after all.
That was a mouthful.
Right? Especially somebody that's dyslexic. I was like, here, I'll volunteer to read a whole paragraph, but I can't read. I like that it has like when it was first aired too in this book. I was like, that's so cool. It has this here, I'm gonna read another little part of it. It says, The Adventures in Odyssey Archives. It's like on a little scroll at the bottom. And it says, Thank You God was one of the first times we delved into Whit's past. This show also marks our first anniversary. We couldn't believe it. 1 year and still on the air. In addition, this is the first time that we hear Connie's mom, June, and for some reason, Chuck Boltz as Professor Harlow, 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 OLD. Professor Harold Whitaker actually says there is no need for lights. Is not in the script. Chuck said it. So apparently they lost electricity, and he just made that line up. And they kept it.
Ah, okay.
And let's see. This book is cool. It also has study guide questions. It says study guide questions. What Thanksgiving tradition does your family practice? And then it says, how can Christians be thankful for their situations? And what does Romans 8:23 mean when it says God will work all things together for your good for them that love him? It's pretty cool. So, being Thanksgiving, what are you guys thankful for? Besides Adventures in Odyssey.
Besides Adventures in Odyssey, it would be you guys. And the podcast.
I agree. I can't not besides Adventures in Odyssey for this answer because I had bookmarked that with my One Grand Party bookmark that I got at One Grand Party. And I'm like, I'm thankful for One Grand Party. But
They even got bookmarks. They got bookmarks.
Oh, yeah, they had bookmarks. I don't know if y'all can read them.
I wonder if they're going to go on sale in the shop.
I don't know.
They should.
They have bumper stickers that say, don't mind me, I'm listening to Odyssey, and I want one so bad.
Or you could put one on your door that says, listening to Odyssey in progress.
I need one that says, honk if you like Odyssey.
I bet a lot of people would honk. Tomorrow should be a fun episode.
Woohoo. Oh, yes, it will be.
I'm thankful for that. We'll just give little hints, but we won't say what.
We're teasing our next episode. It's going to be great.
May not be one or two people.
One or two. Just a few.
Yeah. They may or may not have been stars on Odyssey.
Maybe. Just maybe.
If that gives it away.
That doesn't give it away. There were so many stars on Odyssey. Like, there's so many famous people that work on Odyssey that will not give it away at all.
Dave Griffin was one of them.
Mm-hmm. I wish I had been on that interview.
Did you watch that interview?
I did. I listened to it. Well, I watched it and listened to it. He did it on just like audio, right?
Yeah, on the
I
phone.
have another one that I missed. Do you have two?
No.
No. Okay. Then I did. Yeah, I
I
listened.
got lost in the files when I tried to upload it. We did do 2 interviews though with him, but
Did you?
it
Yeah.
got lost.
It's all right. It happens.
But the first one was just audio because it was a brand new. We were just starting out.
Gotcha.
Trying to figure out.
Yeah, that's the one I listened to.
Yeah.
The audio one.
And then I found Spotify to record on Spotify.
That's awesome.
Do you watch the episodes that you're in, Stephanie?
Did I? Do I? Should I?
Do you?
I went through, I think I wanted to listen to the poem because I was going to record the poem, the Thanksgiving poem. So I went and found that poem and I was like, from now on, I'm just going to like let them listen to it instead of having to read it at Thanksgiving dinner every year. Mom was like, that's not the same. I was like, okay, I'll read it.
When you watched the episodes back, was there any echo?
Oh no, that one day. Which one was that one? Was that the Thanksgiving one?
I think so, but was there any echo in the video?
I didn't hear any echo.
And that was weird how it didn't show up in recording.
It must have been just feeding back through my phone. I don't know, though, because you all were sort of hearing it, too.
Yeah, but if you remember when we did the phone interviews, there would be an echo. But then when we uploaded it, there was no echo.
It did cut out a lot, though.
Yeah, but
Here it doesn't cut out. Well, besides your video.
Yeah, wow,
my phone's gonna disagree with you.
Sometimes we'll get double breeze in the episodes. I just finished listening to a Thanksgiving story.
That was a fun one.
Which one was it?
Thanksgiving story?
I think it was like a musical one.
Oh. Which episode was that?
They were all stranded at Wits End for Thanksgiving.
Oh, is that when they do the Christmas one with Ebenezer Scrooge, but they change it to Thanksgiving?
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Because Wooten does his Elvis impression voice.
Aw. That's a good one. I listened to BTV that episode, the Thanksgiving episode, because I was like, it totally went back to my childhood on that one. I forgot that the Daniel skit was in there, where he's like, what was it? Or he was like, I had a principal. Are you chewing gum? Over the provinces. And they were like Labradors. And they were like...
Yeah, I listened to that on Daniel's podcast.
Yes. There was another, in between the principal and the provinces, there was another one, and I can't remember what it was. But it was funny. It's when I was listening to it over, I remember, I can distinctly remember sitting at the kitchen table doing a puzzle when I listened to that one for the first time. And I was like, oh, like memories of when I was little.
That cat.
This cat won't stay out.
It's giving it, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, minutes of fame.
15 minutes of fame.
Just doesn't.
She's like, listen, if Mom's going to be on the podcast, I'm going to be on the podcast.
And when we interview Nathan Hooper, I'm going to ask you to make you a star on Odyssey.
Make me a what?
A
star?
Yeah.
Was like, can this be the new Odyssey cat?
I mean, we all three could probably be on Odyssey. Or on the official Adventures Odyssey podcast also.
Mm-hmm.
Because I did ask Bob Smithhauser.
Mm-hmm.
And he said yes to being on the podcast. We just need to send our questions to him.
Mm-hmm.
To him personally.
Yeah.
Instead of asking them while he's on the podcast.
Cool.
That way he can answer them ahead of time.
Cool. I like it.
That's fine.
Sounds good to me.
And, of course, what time we do it and stuff.
Works.
Yay! We got another one. I'm so excited.
Bob Smithhauser is the host of the official Adventures in Odyssey podcast.
I know.
So if we get him on the podcast, we could be one day on his podcast.
Oh, you're right, buddy. Yeah.
So hopefully that'll be a thing one day that we can be on the Odyssey podcast.
That would be awesome. All right, Little Bit has to make his debut for a second. Say hi, Odyssey fans.
Hi.
No, you have to say hi, Odyssey fans. You don't get to come back.
Hi.
Nope.
Hi.
Odyssey fans. You've gotten rejected. You're out. You didn't say it. Go play with Daddy. Oh, well, we'll be back after these messages. Get up.
Why did you do that?
Because you smushed Daddy's face. Ow. Alright, there's going to be some racket, so y'all might want to talk and don't want to
I think she's in her garage.
My whole improvise, adapt, and overcome.
Blah, blah.
Hey, Raylan, why don't you do your mother a favor
What?
and go find the clip that fell down, please, and thank you.
There's no clip.
Well, look for it, please, and thank you. Looks like I know there's a clip that was holding it up. Look, you found it, my hero. Thank you, sir. All right. Now, don't shake that because I would like to not pinch my fingers off in Daddy's toolbox. Come this way. Jump. Whee! To the door, sir. Bye.
You saw that little spank right there that you did.
All right. We're back. And we're back.
You saw that little spank he did on you.
Do what?
You got a spanking from your son.
Oh, did I? Sorry. On live podcast, of course. I was like, this is why I'm always freezing, because my home office doubles as a garage. Hence the cat. The only quiet place I have in this abode.
I gave up a long time ago.
Abode.
They say have kids, it'll be fun. They don't say you give up quiet in return.
Yes. Well,
Are you teaching me wisdom right now?
go. Would you like me to ground my son on national podcast? Thank you, sir. Bye. He said no, turned tail and ran.
He probably went to go tell on mom.
Right, he's gonna go call Dad and be like, Dad, Mommy almost caught me on a podcast.
You disappear and your husband has no idea where you went.
Right. So on my resume, I can now put works good under pressure.
And does podcast.
Yeah, I know. Had it been smart, I just would have been like, we'll be back after these messages. No, y'all got to do the whole show. We'll put this at the end, cut it out, and call it the blooper reel.
There you go.
All right, where were we on Thanksgiving? Happy Thanksgiving, folks.
Did you guys have turkey or what did you guys have?
We did. They had turkey and ham. Honestly, it was the best Thanksgiving ever. I can't complain because I didn't have to cook. I made no-bake cookies because I was on dessert duty, and that was it. And it was very nice.
And that was it for your turkey?
It was so good. They made all kinds of stuff. They had like green beans, broccoli casserole, potatoes, all the things. Like, it was so good. Rolls, turkey, ham. What else?
I just burnt myself.
You all right?
Yeah. I just burnt myself on coffee. Nothing good.
We're good. Nobody's bleeding.
14
The
years,
Marine in me's like,
14 years ago, on Thanksgiving, I found out I was pregnant with my son.
oh, that's exciting.
My husband and I got married October 2nd of 2010, and then we found out Thanksgiving of 2010 we were pregnant.
Oh, that's so awesome. Surprise!
I was grateful for that because we wanted to try right away.
That's cool.
What should we all wear for the interview tomorrow?
Ooh.
Besides clothes.
My birthday suit. No, just kidding. It's a kid-friendly film. I don't care.
I say we drop little hints like we were doing earlier
Mm-hmm.
and see if the audience can guess it.
Ooh, that would be cool. Y'all should drop in the comments who you think we're having on tomorrow. I bet you'll never guess.
Besides that, I had a kid crush on one of them.
Can you hear the banging?
No.
Over here? Okay. 'Cause
Nope.
it sounds like my kid is pounding on the wall. And I'm like, what is happening right now? Did you just say your clue was your kid crush?
Yeah.
That might give it away. Maybe.
Well, have we talked about them on the podcast before?
I don't
Besides
know.
in episode reviews?
And maybe not. I don't know.
Because I know we talked about your crush.
Right, we always talk about my crush. Everybody knows I like Jason. Everybody was all, Buck. I was like, Jason.
See, this is when you should say, if you know my crush, you should like and subscribe.
Right, I should
Really, no.
have.
You know?
If you know my crush, like and subscribe. I like the way you think.
Smile away, boys.
Just
Smile away.
Good movie too.
Okay, if you know Stephanie's crush, like and subscribe.
Immediately, like,
How's that?
all the Odyssey fans that know me are like, subscribe.
And we lost subscribers, by the way. We only have 186 now.
How many we got?
186. We had 188.
Nice.
I guess 2 people unsubscribed because we had 188.
I think it was 188 last time I looked.
So I don't know who the 2 people were.
No telling. They'll be back
They'll be back when we interview 2 people tomorrow.
Don't miss it.
I bet that one will get a lot of views.
Mm-hmm. We should take a guess.
I wonder if his voice is still the same.
I don't know. Maybe. If she's like Katie Lee, yes.
Well, David Griffin's voice is the same too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they kept him on when he was a teenager and his voice changed. They still kept him on, so I feel like his voice would still be the same too, because we heard him as Baby Jimmy and Adult Jimmy.
You could tell he did not like it after he got cut from the show.
Well, it is what it is.
But he has his opinion. So.
We can't all stay forever. We don't all sound young like Katie Lee.
Katie and Chris have stayed forever.
That's because Connie is going to be 16 forever and never get married.
So instead of like forever 17, it's forever 16.
Actually, I got a question about Connie, though.
What was that?
For you guys. I got a question about Connie for you guys.
Oh, about Connie?
Yeah.
Okay, what you got?
Do you think it's right that she is forcing Jules to go to church with her? Because she's a minor, but people are saying that Connie shouldn't be forcing her to go to church.
That's a tough one.
There's a whole big section about it in the fan club page.
I feel like if she's old enough, because Connie's responsible, and there's nobody else to watch her. So if Connie goes to church, Jules should go to church just so Connie can still be responsible for her there, right? So she's not at home like trying to cook something and burn the house down. But she's a teenager. So in that case, she should be able to stay home by herself while Connie goes to church, right? So that's a hard one because I can see both sides of this argument.
I would say no, that she shouldn't be forcing her, because she doesn't really seem to be interested.
Yeah.
And Connie's like trying to make her go and be interested.
Well,
She is though living under Connie's roof, and so she should follow Connie's rules. And if one of the rules is going to church, then she should. But it also, like, I know, like, for some, whether when you leave your kid and stuff alone, like, how long, depends on the state.
right.
Like,
Yeah.
you know.
Technically, she's still a minor.
So, I guess it would depend on Odyssey's rules.
Right, right. If we could ever figure out where the town of Odyssey actually is in the United States, that's a whole nother debate.
Burbank, California. That's where they're recording that.
Everything's in Burbank.
Just saying.
I love where there's one Wooten episode where he's like collecting stamps, and he's all like, I love getting all these exotic stamps. This one's my favorite from this exotic place. It's Kentucky. I'm like, Kentucky's not exotic. I live here. So then I was like, well, we know they're not, like, Whitson is not in Kentucky because he wouldn't be getting stamps from Kentucky that were exotic if they all lived there. It was common to him.
Maybe we can ask our two guests that are on tomorrow where they think Odyssey is.
That'd be a good question.
Or they can tell us.
My answer has always been to where is the town of Odyssey? I'm like, in the theater of the mind.
I thought it was in Utah.
Let's see. I can't remember an episode off the top of my head that would roll out Utah. Unless Bernard and them drive through there on their trip, we'd have to see.
That's what I was about to say.
Yep. Unless they drove through on their road trip, then that's a possibility.
Or Hollywood. It could be in Hollywood.
Well, Bernard and them went there, though, on that road trip. Remember? Because they had that earthquake, and they were looking at all the famous
It happened. Oh, yeah.
So it would have to be some way back this way, a little bit. More East Coast. I've been working on this a long time. When I was a little kid, I literally took a giant mirror that we had and drew, like, Odyssey out on it. So, like, when I went to one grand party and they actually had an Odyssey map, I was like, oh, I gotta compare this to the one I had at the house.
Maybe.
Go ahead.
Maybe on an episode one day, we should all just, like, try to figure out where Odyssey is.
Where Odyssey is. I think someone had narrowed it down to Illinois, the last I had heard. But
You know who?
I don't know who, like what other episode might debunk that. I really wanted it to be in Kentucky.
Yeah, because that's where you live.
There is an ice cream shop right across the bridge in Indiana, like right over the river, and it's a giant ice cream shop. And this lady owns it, and she was gonna, I think, like during COVID, she started to go bankrupt, and she was gonna have to sell the place. And it was an old Victorian house, and I seen it on the news, and I was like, oh my goodness, it's Odyssey. It's a mom and pop ice cream shop that's in a Victorian house. But somebody rolled out Indiana. I can't remember who it was or what they said, but they were like, it can't be in Indiana. And I was like, oh. We'll have to do that. That should be like a whole podcast. Like a whole hour of us trying to figure out where Odyssey is.
Then people will definitely be like in the comments below, no, it's in this one, this is this one.
Yeah, everybody can leave us their ideas in the comments. All right, in this comment box down below, y'all write all your suggestions, what state you think it's in, and then we'll go through and figure out which ones it is and which ones it is not based on episodes.
And our two special guests came up there too.
There you go.
I'm gonna have to set an alarm to wake up tomorrow.
Yeah, no Black Friday shopping. Y'all can't miss this now.
Good thing we're not filming at 11 o'clock. I would not be able to be to like 5 hours of an episode.
It's already 9:10 at my house.
Really? 9:10?
PM. Woohoo! I'm old. It's past my bedtime.
Tomorrow will be our first episode in the morning.
Yep, yep.
So maybe your garage will be clear.
Wow, hope so. I think it's supposed to snow, though. It was like 38 degrees. I'm over here like...
Bring a blanket with you.
That's why, as you watch the podcast episodes from the past, I get like longer and longer sleeves because I'm getting colder and colder as the weather changes. Like the first one, I was in short sleeves, and then I progressively get longer sleeves.
Bring a blanket if you have to.
I had one on my lap last night.
Didn't you have one in your first episode?
I didn't, and I had on that short sleeve shirt. But it was still like, it was probably still in the 50s on that night, so it wasn't that bad.
Did you check in the Odyssey shop for the sweater, Christmas sweater?
Oh no, I need to do that. Let me write myself a note.
Because we all need to get matching Christmas sweaters.
Need to do that.
My Christmas gift to me.
Yeah, that's what we had to do too while we're on live. Be like, hey, if anybody wants to know what to buy us for Christmas, we want Odyssey playing cards, we want an Odyssey sweater, we need an Odyssey blanket, there's an Odyssey mug.
We're going to put down our post box office information. Like you can put yours, you can put hers, I can put mine. Fan mail.
Right, yeah.
How about we just say if it has Adventures in Odyssey
Yes,
to do with it, we want it.
exactly. I'll take
Fan
it.
mail.
Oh, if anybody wants to give us the like old school original Adventures in Odyssey hat and T-shirt with like the old school wits in on it, that'd be excellent. I kept seeing them at one grand party, and I'm like, I'm so jealous.
I mean, they'll know you and Brady from the podcast. Not the podcast, the fan club. That's mostly where they can reach us.
I didn't hear you.
That's mostly where they can reach us, the fan club. Although I'm friends with mostly everybody on the fan club page.
You guys need to check out my Instagram too. I do like little short like clips of like Odyssey like quotes and like we're Adventures in Odyssey fans. We da 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 da. I should go run over there and look at it real quick. I need more ideas. They're gonna send me more ideas.
You can talk about the podcast.
Good. We're Adventures in Odyssey fans. Of course, we started our own Adventures in Odyssey podcast. That's my new one. Thank you. Thank you. That's my new one. That'll be tomorrow's.
And we interviewed this person.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, I won't make it tomorrow. I'll make it the day after tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be busy with 2 Adventures in Odyssey fans that are coming to our podcast.
Not fans, star actors.
Oh, actors. Actors, yeah. I wonder if they were fans before they were actors. Or if, like, they started from the beginning, so they're just actors. Like, I wonder... Okay, that's my question for them tomorrow. I'm going to be like, so when did you realize that you guys were, like, famous? Like, because they were young, right, when they started?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wonder, like, when it sank in that they were actually really famous amongst the Odyssey world.
I was gonna say something, but you're giving it away right away, so...
Don't do it! That's our question. Tomorrow we gotta ask that.
And we're gonna do a test run first with them.
And the clue is I've never met these people before till tomorrow, so I'm excited.
I mean, I met him, the other person.
So
Mostly-
if you have a guess or you know, like and subscribe and drop your guess down below.
Or I mostly got contact through Facebook. They have a Facebook.
Ooh.
I'm friends with everyone mostly on Facebook.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I am. Like, I know
See-
oh, go ahead.
If I can they'll accept my friend request, and then I can message them, then they'll be on. Oh yeah, I'll be on the podcast. So that's how Jim Berkeley got on the podcast.
Woohoo!
Did you watch the Phil Lawler one we did?
Do what?
Did you watch the Phil Lawler one?
Yeah.
When he did the voice of Penny, the chicken?
Right.
Did you know that was him doing it?
I would not have known that. No. I was looking in this book, and in the back it shows, like, I mean, this is the older one, the original one, so it doesn't have all the episodes. I'm sure he did so much more after this. But I was looking in the back, and it has like by actors, so it'll have like the actor's name over here, like Townsend Coleman, and then it'll have like all the people he played, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. So I need to go look at Phil's and be like, what else did he play that I don't know about? Because I feel like sometimes when I re-listen to episodes, I start putting like people's voices to them, and I'm like, oh, that sounds like. I'm like, this is cool. Let's see.
Yeah, I found out the other day, on Sunday the other day, or last week, that Townsend Coleman was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Yes. Yes. A Michelangelo.
It does not sound like him in the episodes, though.
Do it.
It does not sound like him in the videos.
Oh, yeah, no, it doesn't. I went back and watched them all, and I was like, that does not sound like him. But he also doesn't sound like the 7-Up dot either. Or some of the other stuff he's done. He's really good at changing his voice for stuff. Oh, which episode was the Odyssey they did live? And they had him... They were, like, showing off his voice talent in the live. It was, like, one of the... I don't know if it was 25 or...
They have him walking up the hill carrying a plate of linguine.
Linguine, and I was like, I have listened to that so many times, and I'm like, just to be at that level of awesome, I would love. Like,
That's the cool shit.
every time they added something, I was like, and he added it, and he added it, and he added it. I was like, this is amazing.
Okay, Connie, we get the idea.
If I tried to do it, it would sound like me every time the exact same way. And then, like, everything they asked him to do, you could hear it in his voice, and I was like, that's so cool. He needs to get voice acting lessons, because I would be on that.
He needs to be on the podcast.
Yes. Yes, he does.
We all just need to message him and say,
well, I'm just sending a little message. Be like, hey, please. Pretty please.
Bree still has to message Chris Anthony.
Woohoo.
I'll check on that.
Barbie.
And speaking of, Marshall Younger said he'll do another episode after Thanksgiving.
Sounds perfect.
And Dave Griffin said he'd be honored to be on again since the team has grown.
Cool, cool.
So you'll get to meet Dave Griffin and Marshall Younger.
Yay.
And maybe this time,
Our episode will get lost in files.
No. We'll keep it
I was gonna say, don't go accusing me. I didn't do anything.
She's like, I'm not taking credit for that.
Because it's better quality and the video doesn't lag when we talk. Maybe we'll get double features.
I'm over here just looking at all this fan art, like the original, like it brings back all the memories.
That's the book I have.
Yes.
I have that book in storage.
All those characters. They even got the parrot up top.
I'm trying to find out where one of my fan cards are. International cards are.
Back to. We need to do a Ho podcast on our playing cards as well. That would be so much fun.
Like, make a little game out of our playing cards, like Go Fish or something.
I just want to show them off. I'm still looking for so many of them. Like, I'm like, I need some people to tell me they have extras that I can trade.
we start playing Go Fish, and your husband's like, what are you doing that on the podcast? We're playing Go Fish.
We're going to go fish.
There you go.
Playing Odyssey, go fishing.
We need to make some kind of like D&D game, but not D&D like the card game where it's like Wit gets this many points for like doing something good. You know, like the Israelites would go do good deeds. Like we need to be like so and so's team earns this many points for painting so and so's fence away. You play this card. Like, you get 10 points for
Do a trivia game on the podcast too.
that would be fun. We should do
They have to
that.
be
That we should do that. Right. I'm making a list. And checking it twice. I'm gonna find out who's naughty or nice. Sorry.
Stephanie-
Podcast is coming to town.
Stephanie Claus is coming to town.
Alright. Trivia game. And then our cards. Yeah, let's play the
Okay. It'll be like, Stephanie, do you have a Mr. Woodward?
It's like, no, but I can raise you a barbecue
So wait,
chicken.
this is like a Go Fish. You're gonna turn it into a game of Go Fish, but Go Odyssey.
Do you have a Bobby Ruffalo?
Play Old Maid, and whoever gets what's his name's Wooten's neighbor. Mrs. Kramer, Crandall, what is her name? Is it Kramer? Mrs. Kramer?
Yep.
That'd be funny.
Good old Miss Kramer.
I did a short on birthdays, and I'd sing the Wooten song, you know, like, today is your birthday, happy birthday, today is your birthday, happy birthday, hey! And then one of the comments was like, I respect you not, like, doing the rest of the dance. And I was like, yeah, I didn't want to rip my only good pair of jeans.
I was just about to ask you, did you rip your pants?
Like, yeah, I went ahead and stopped the video right at the end there. Can't be any worse than unveiling the toolbox tonight. Tonight's special feature, Stephanie's office turns into a garage on a whim.
Is that like your little backdrop curtain?
It is. Yes, it is.
You need to paint Odyssey stuff all over.
I know, right? It's actually a Scentsy tablecloth turned backwards. Just so you know, for future reference. I need a green screen, because then I could put, like, the Odyssey, like, the house, like, the winter house that they have. It's on the blanket, but I've always had it as my screensaver, or not screensaver, my Facebook profile picture each year. I put that Odyssey winter landscape house up, and then they put it on a blanket, and I was like, yes! I need a green screen, though, so I can do that behind me.
Or you could use a Odyssey blanket.
Or like when Jason comes on, I can put his face back there. Be the crazy fangirl. Be like, hey, look!
I bet you, Stephanie, you wouldn't be able to speak if you had Jason on here.
I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. I had so many questions I wanted to ask him, and then I seen him in person, and I was like, oh, I love you!
You would say one word, and then you'd be like, I'm out, bye guys.
I'd be like, y'all just talk. I'll just listen.
I'll just listen to this smile at you.
I'm gonna be like, listen, I need you guys to go on a Jason adventure for me, and I'll just sit back and listen. I need you to, like, pop out of a train in a box, or, like, stop the Roku virus, or, you know, something.
I mean, you might not be able to contain your excitement tomorrow either.
I need Mustafa to show up so Jason can save the day.
Okay, I will say this. The first name starts with a C. That's all I'll give you.
First name starts with the what?
The people that we're having on tomorrow, his Odyssey character starts with a C. And there's a lot of people that started with C back in the day.
It's Connie! No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
It could be Connie. You never know. Let's see what other little.
No more hints. They're gonna guess it.
I said little hints.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
We're all tired from Thanksgiving meal.
It's been a long Thanksgiving day for me over here.
Hey, I'm running on just like 2 or 3 hours of sleep.
Bree, you need coffee.
I hate coffee.
Yes, I do too. I am a tea only person or energy drinks. I do not like coffee, but I have to have the caffeine.
What about hot chocolate?
I'm weird. I like cold chocolate. Like I like Nestle's Quick inside cold milk, and that's it.
Who do I have on my podcast right now?
I have to be careful with hot chocolate because I'm lactose intolerant.
Oh yeah.
That makes sense.
No,
But Stephanie, you don't have any excuse.
I know. I don't have an excuse. I'm just difficult. I'm high maintenance.
Well, I'm glad your husband can deal with you.
So,
Low maintenance for me in terms of my appearance, high maintenance in terms of what I can eat and what I can't.
I just tolerate you two. Your husbands are the one that has to deal with you.
you get it in small doses. It's okay.
Oh, and you both got kids, so the kids will have to deal with you too.
Poor kids, poor husband, poor kitty cat.
But not poor me. I'm off the hook.
Except on
Until we
the
record.
podcast. Then you gotta deal with us.
I'll be like, Stephanie, stop talking.
According to my husband, that never happens.
According to my friends, that always happens.
I never stop talking. This is why I should be in voiceover. I just never quit talking.
You could be one of the new characters on Odyssey called Miss Chatterbox.
Right. I'll be like Connie Kendall of Odyssey. What are we doing? I'm late. I'm always late. I swear I'm Connie. I am Connie in real life. Like, I would be like apologizing to my husband for being late for like the 1,000th time, and I feel like I'm apologizing to Wit. I'm like, I'm sorry I'm late. Why is that always the first thing I say to you?
Are you late? One episode, she said, are you late?
I'm very late.
You could be late to a podcast. You could be late to church.
You never know.
That's what Chris says in one episode in Better Late Than Never.
I will be late to my own funeral. That is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, I listened to Cousin Albert today,
Oh, did you?
and it was Chris. I think it was Chris's son Marvin that was in the intro with her.
Cool.
Because she's like, we're going to play a little game. He's like, game? He's like, do you know what a common denominator is? And she's like, you have to do all those things, but before you do all those things, what do you have to do? And he's like, get a good night's sleep. And then she's like, no. And he's like, go to the bathroom.
Oh, me. I love Chris's intros.
Especially when she interviewed Tuttle the turtle,
Which one was
for
that?
the rabbit and the rabbit race and the turtle race.
Oh, yeah, the Rabbit and the Hare episode where they redid that one. Yeah.
Mr. Turtle was upset. I put rocks in my pockets. Took a few naps in the race.
I like how he goes, yeah, you see, I'm fast.
And I win.
That's a good episode, too.
I can't wait till we review the album where Dr. Dobson comes to town.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
That's a little while, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, we're getting to there.
I know we're moving through pretty fast.
Well, we do what, 3 albums a night?
Yep. Until we get to Novacom and the Blackguard series, and then that'll move a little slower. Cause we'll all have to talk about it.
Yeah, we'll have to do like part 1, 2, 3, 4.
You know, like when we hit Way Late in the Windy City, that's going to be a while.
Because we're going to have to wait for Chris for that one.
Yes.
So we'll probably be skipping some albums until we get Chris back.
I really can't wait till we do Snow Day. Because every time it snows around here, I'm just like, snow, snow, how Alex loves snow, 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 how Alex loves snow. Snow, 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 snow. My kids are like, Mom, stop.
Do your kids listen to Odyssey?
They do. Let's see, last year, I think it was last year when I let them watch one of the movies, one of the DVDs, the one where I kind of scared them because I let them watch the one where Whit gets, the guy acts the burglar, the cat burglar one where he acts like Whit. And then he kidnaps the kid that's trying to get, Dylan, that's trying to get Whit free. The kids were like, what is this? And I was like, it's awesome, it really is, you gotta watch the rest of them. But then they started listening to them in the car because I had CDs in the car. So when they would be needing something to do, I'd be like, let's put on an Odyssey. And they're like, okay. So now they ask, Mom, what Odysseys are in the car? So Skylar's dying to be on the podcast. She's like, Mom, I know episodes. I can be on the podcast. I'm like, you gotta listen to a few more before you get on the podcast.
So she's actually going to be on the podcast to be on the podcast.
I tease her. I'm like, you gotta listen to you gotta at least be a 20-year-old listener. Like, you've had to listen for 20 years before you get the podcast. She's like, Mom.
Well, she's also got to ask me too.
Right.
Well, maybe one night you can have you and your daughter on the podcast.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Because we talk deep and on Odyssey stuff.
She'll need one episode that she needs to listen to a lot, so that way when you ask her questions, she can answer them. Because if not, it'll turn to other topics like Minecraft and whatever else comes into her little brain, and then we won't have an Odyssey podcast anymore. It'll be somewhere else.
We'll have a Minecraft podcast.
Right? Yeah, it'll probably go to Minecraft.
It'd be interesting to see a kid do a Minecraft podcast.
It would be cute to see all the Odyssey, little kids that like Odyssey, to listen to what they think of it. Because, we grew up with it. So, I can only imagine what little me would think. You know, what would my opinion have been on stuff when I was little? What would have I said about it? If somebody asked me why I liked Odyssey, what would have I said when I was, 7?
You would probably hang out with your 7-year-old self.
Right? I'd be like, hey, you're my best friend.
They would say the same thing you would say.
Maybe. I don't know.
We should all build a time machine.
Right. Quicksand, here we come. I wish I had a Room of Consequences box when I was 10. So I could see what would happen if I went down that road.
Or the pin where you could hear people what they found about you.
Yeah. Oh, what is that episode where she could hear everybody's thoughts?
Hindsight.
Was it Hindsight?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Was it? I thought it was
It was the Odor kid.
I thought it was different.
Because Alex Jefferson liked her. She's like, I like her. I can't remember her name.
Yeah, that was it.
It was Liz that had the pen.
What was it?
It was Liz that
Yes.
had the pen.
That's true.
It was
That's
Liz
true. I
and-
can't remember her name though.
Yes. Yeah, it was Liz. Yeah,
This is my hindsight pin right here.
it was so funny.
Here's my hindsight pin.
And Mandy's debut. That was one of my favorite episodes too.
And the one person's like, oh, gaudy outfit,
Yes.
bad shoes, haircut.
Yes.
I still can't remember her name though.
And then remember the teacher was all like singing songs about their little science project. That was so great.
And then he goes, Alex, and then he calls Alex, and Alex goes, oh, true, I don't have to look at the frog because they were going to dissect frogs, and he just wasn't into it.
Yes. That was
Or when
And she's like, do you want to take notes, or do you want to cut the frog
Yeah,
or
well-
something? And he's like, I'll take notes, and then thinking anything to do.
Alex said throw up.
That was the best episode ever too.
Or when she pointed the pen at Connie and said, I wish I would have cast somebody else for the play.
Yeah. Oh me. It's a good thing.
I like Mandy's debut. That one was funny.
That was good.
About the sheep, when Eugene played a sheep.
Ah.
He had one line,
And he messed it up because he got his hoof caught in Jesus' sandal or something like that.
So water really does ruin those things?
Oh, that was so great. And what was the episode where Connie was trying to win a contest to write a theme song for the...
That was the same episode.
Right, where she was like, mega, mega, mega world, rather rise and then you'll hurl. Yes.
Miss Kendall, it sounds like you are...
Are you ill? Oh no, it sounds as though you were choking or dying. Yeah. Oh, that's the best.
And then Whit gave the ticket to Mandy, and she's like, yeah, Connie wanted to go.
Yeah. Yes.
Connie will be here cleaning. Oh yeah, Connie will be.
Yeah.
We could do our own Mandy's name because we know every single one.
I love that episode so much. Oh, good lord.
I like it on the YouTube videos where they put the Odyssey music on,
Oh yeah.
and it's just different people doing the mouthing them.
That'd be cool. I'll have to go look.
We should do that.
That would be
We
cool.
should figure out how to do that.
That would be fun.
I would probably be Eugene because I have the glasses.
You could be Eugene. That's awesome.
Do you remember the New Year's Eve live show?
New Year's Eve live. I remember it, but I don't remember all of it.
Where Officer Harlow goes around on a case.
I can't remember.
Connie sends him out on a case to find out how different people celebrate New Year's Eve.
Yeah. I remember you
And then
playing
he got
the
a drink.
ukulele and singing. It was like seasonal felicitations to you, yourself, and I, or something like that. It was cool.
And then Connie cries.
And then that out with the old year, in with the new. December's nearly done, or something. Or January's something. January's here, December's nearly through. That's what it was.
And then Connie cries.
Yeah.
That would have been a great live show to put on DVD.
Yeah. It would have been.
I know they don't put all their live shows on DVD, but they do.
That would have been cool.
Protest from Nathan Hooper. I wonder if they tried to do it live at a New Year's Eve live this year. They should put it on.
That'd be cool.
Ooh, we should do a New Year's Eve live.
We should. That would be fun. That would be
Up till
fun.
12 o'clock.
Going in the notes.
I mean, up till 12 o'clock, our time.
Your time, my time, her time, their time, whose time? It'll be past 12 o'clock my time when it's 12 o'clock y'all's time. So we can do it twice. No. I can celebrate twice.
Have apple cider.
Alright, who's going to learn the ukulele? No.
I do have a guitar.
Ooh.
And an electrical keyboard.
Nice, nice.
And I'm getting drums soon.
You should, at some point on this podcast, you need to serenade us. You got to play.
Yeah, but you guys are already married.
What? Not me. Our guest tomorrow. No. No, they're already married too.
Oh, by the way, if you guys missed it, she just said they were married.
Hint, hint. Not me going down the list to see all the actors and actresses that are already married.
There you go.
See, I should
Oh,
have been a little
Stephanie.
protective.
We do have a Facebook page too.
We have a what?
We also have our own Facebook page.
Okay.
I'll invite you to that.
Decent, thank you.
You can introduce yourself on the Facebook page too.
It's Jason's crazy fangirl. No.
And you can put your Odyssey stuff that you do on that too.
Cool. Thank you. Oh, I'll have to introduce myself as Silver Saddle Slapper Stephanie.
So we got a Christmas stream to do.
Mm-hmm.
And a New Year's Eve live stream to do. Well, podcast.
We do. So subscribe below so you don't miss it.
And we should save some of our presents that we get to open on the podcast.
Ooh, that would be fun. So any of our viewers want to send us like playing cards for Christmas, we'll open them live on here on Christmas. And or New Year's. Because I'm sure Amazon shipping is way behind already.
And we don't have to pay for
You pay the money for Prime, and the Prime date changes twice.
And the good thing is we don't have to pay for shipping. They do.
I wonder if the playing cards are still on sale. I didn't get a chance to look today.
I would look, but my phone's dead, so I'm charging it.
Yeah, I'm using my phone to do the podcast, so I can't look. Note to self. No.
Get a computer.
I'm like, my cat would probably
I think-
knock that over too.
I think kids just want to be on the podcast because it's like different people talking to each other.
Right. He's like, ooh, I hear voices.
Does mommy have friends over?
He's like, mommy has 2 extra personalities tonight.
I mean, technically, it's kind of like you're having us over.
It is. I like it. It's like having company.
Before, you were probably just bored out of your mind.
Getting chocolate milk and listening to Odyssey.
And now you have a podcast.
And now I'm on the podcast. Who would have ever thought? I can tell you right now that 10-year-old me driving in a car to New York for youth camp, listening to Adventures in Odyssey, never thought that when I got 35, I would be on an Adventures in Odyssey podcast.
And interviewing famous people.
I know, right? What is happening to me? My dreams are coming true.
And it's also cool.
It's the dream job that you didn't know was a dream
Right?
job.
I'm like, miracles do happen. No.
So, Bree, is it what's happening with your friend with our merch?
I don't know. I got to talk to her.
Maybe you should write this down like Stephanie is.
Well, it doesn't mean I'm going to keep it where I can find it.
That's like my important Christmas presents that I hide throughout the year in a special safe spot, and then when it comes Christmas time, I cannot find them.
Or Stephanie can remind you to ask your friend, because she writes everything down.
I'll write it down.
She's the secretary, okay?
That is really funny because I belong to the Order of the Eastern Star, and I'm their secretary for their District 9 club. So when y'all said secretary, I was like, oh no, I'm just forever going to be the secretary.
I'm the boss, and she's my secretary.
Personal assistant. Can I put that on
And
my resume later?
And Bree's just our, I don't know.
So he can bother you at 3 in the morning if he needs something.
Like, that wasn't
I'll
in the
be-
job description.
I'll get a text from Stephanie at 3 in the morning, like, what do I need to write down? I'm trying to sleep.
It'll just be me texting you little, like, music note emojis, and I'll be like, there's a hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a hole in the bottom of the sea. Stop it.
Your husband would be like, who are you texting that to?
You'll be like, mute, do not disturb.
Well, see, he texts you. He tells you he needs something at 3 in the morning. You tell him at 3:05.
Remind me, like 2 minutes later.
You said,
And then your husband checks your phone, like, who is this?
What do you mean, Odyssey trivia game? No. What is that?
What are you doing? At least I met Bree's husband, and he's cool.
Brandon is too. He's just a little introvert, and he won't meet nobody.
Even if the camera is off.
Do what?
see, I'm into.
Would he come if you turned the camera off?
Probably not.
Your kids are the more camera
Yes.
people.
They're the extension of him. They're like little mini hymns that fill in for him when he's gone.
You need to get your kids to get him on the camera, like, drag him, kicking, screaming.
I've gotten like 4 pictures of him in our 8 years of marriage, so I've given up.
Does he watch the podcast when you're on them?
I don't know if he has or not. I'm not sure. We've been so busy because it's Thanksgiving. I haven't even got a chance to ask, so I really don't know if he did or not.
You should introduce him to the podcast.
I'm gonna be like, hey, you gotta go binge watch your wife. No.
Make sure no one's hitting on her.
I'll be like, you gotta like and subscribe so they know that I'm married. You gotta comment on everyone.
She's mine, stay away. We're not giving away hints to the people that are on tomorrow.
I was like,
We haven't even talked about Odyssey either.
we haven't talked about Odyssey this whole time. Everything in my life relates to Odyssey.
You're kind of like secretary.
You know how everybody like makes the joke about that one time in band camp? Well, all of us Odyssey fans are all like, you remember that one time on Adventures in Odyssey? And everybody that's an Odyssey fan knows what we're talking about.
So outside my door, I put, because I can't hang it on my door, and so they know not to come in, I put recording in progress,
Oh, I love it.
and I just laid it outside my door, that way they know not to come in.
That's what I need to do for my kids. Be like, do not disturb. Intruders will be grounded. No.
All prosecutors will be violated.
No.
I'm teaching my kids about tax. I do the mom tax. They owe me money. Money
I heard a little
what
laugh.
it is. But I'm
I
Anytime
heard a
I,
the
little
mom
laugh.
tax.
anytime I open a bag of chips, I'm like, pop, mom tax, and take one, give them the bag.
Or, like, in my family, if you ate the last Pop-Tart or something, you had to put money in the jar.
Or at least tell me the box is empty and not leave it in the cabinet so that I can get more and add it to the list.
I always did that to my mom.
It drives me nuts. I'll go in there and
And
think
she
there's a
knew.
little more and there's nothing. And I'm like, no.
That's why now we go shopping for whatever I need for my apartment.
See, it's not cool when they wake you up at like 3 or 4 in the morning and say, "Hey, we're out of this." It's like, okay, what do you want me to
Go to
do?
the store at 3 in the morning and get me more.
I'll be like, go write it on the fridge board. I'll get it next time.
Have you ever had to go to the store at like 3 o'clock in the morning?
Well, back in the day, I didn't have to, but I did all the time because before COVID, Walmart was open 24/7. And I liked going at night because no one was there. It was nice. I had like the whole store pretty much to myself. So like, I miss going late at night.
When I got back from wrestling, WWE, we didn't get back till like 3 or 4 in the morning, and we dropped our other friends off, and it was just me and this other guy. We went out to Walmart at 3 o'clock in the morning, and then we went to go to Burger King, and had Burger King at his house, and I just fell asleep on his couch.
Do you all have White Castles? We have White Castles here, and they were ones that were open
You do.
late. We used to stop and get White Castles when it was late.
Or Raising Cane's.
Oh, see, I don't know where the closest one of those is around here. Ooh. We probably have one up in Louisville. I gotta Google.
Or your own Whitson soda shop.
We need a Whitson so bad. I hate that I have to fly to Colorado to get to Whitson Soda Shop. That's just too far.
Or, we could just get, even though Phil Lawler said no free stuff. That sounded like a fair trade, right? Him on the podcast, he should fly us out for free. It sounded like a fair trade.
I just think we need Whitson franchises in every state. That way we can at least, like, once a month go to Whitson, you know?
Or like if we have no problems, we can talk to our own wit.
Just not an animatronic wit.
That was a funny episode.
Oh.
Connie not getting enough time with her alone with animatronic wit.
No. I come in early to talk to him.
Or when Wit returns and animatronic wit is still there.
Right. He's like, does this remind you of something? She's like, yeah, the Exodus reference pretty much summed it up.
What was that one saying that animatronic did? Oh, this is the Lord has made. Let's praise God for today. And all the kids started screaming.
Right? It's like, what is this?
Today is going to be a great day. Yeah, we really need to do our own Odyssey skit.
We do. That would be fun.
Bree can be like the narrator or something.
I thought
We gotta do.
one
No,
of
you're
the
good. Go ahead. I was just gonna say
Go
we should
ahead.
do Magic
What?
Guy. That should be our skit.
That's a good one. I thought one of the I guess one of the ones that like you like really laughing. In my opinion, was the Do or
Yeah.
Die It, where it's like the guy's supposed to be like Richard Simmons and goes, "You can do it, IT."
And Bernard goes, IT because he forgot to spell it.
Yeah, but the guy spells like a lot of things, you know? And it was just like, it was like Richard Simmons' song.
Or where
Adventures
Moon,
in Odyssey is what it was. And he did all that.
remember
was
when
just
Moon
spot
changed his
on with
eyebrows to
Richard
lose
Simmons.
pounds?
Yes.
Or Bernard's like teacher's pet to wit.
Yeah.
The brownies. The brownies. Oh
Well,
my
when it's like, how much water did you drink? Well, there's 2 cups of macaroni and cheese.
Or the brownies. No, Brown, don't go in there.
Oh, yeah.
And Wooten goes, hoop holler, hoop holler. Wooten by far is the best character that they've created on that show.
He's talented. Just her name.
Besides my kid crush. That's him and my kid crush.
And your kid crush. That we will all meet tomorrow. Dun 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 dun. No.
Y'all might have to contain me.
I can't. Okay, so when we talk about Wooten, it takes me a minute to wrap my head around that Wooten was an Animaniac. He was one of the Animaniac kids, right? So
Animaniacs.
yes, an apple a day keeps the doctor away, but not kids WB.
And he also did the voice of Bill Cosby.
Yes, yes, and I think he does the Arnold. What's his name?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yes, he does him too. He does so many, and he's so good at changing his voice.
Captain Absolutely. You know he was in a rock band before Odyssey.
Is he? Nice.
He was like doing Journey songs like "Don't Stop Believing" or hard metal rock songs.
I can see that.
Well, with his crazy hairdo, you can kind of see it.
I like those suits. Suits and feathers.
I wonder what else he does besides his rock albums.
Oh man, I looked it up a while back, and there was a lot that he's credited with, but I can't remember them all off the top of my head.
He does a lot though.
He does. I just looked at the time and realized it's 10 o'clock my time, so I probably should roll and let you all wrap this up. Because, we do have an interview in the morning with some special guest.
So do you want to just wrap this up then?
I probably should. If you guys want to keep going, you can. If you guys are ready to wrap it up, we can do that too. It's up to you guys.
Yeah, we should probably say some of our voices for tomorrow.
Right?
Because I got pie to eat tonight. So.
Oh, you can't miss that.
Alright, so you've been listening or watching Adventures in Odyssey podcast with Bree and Stephanie again. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for the special interview. Be there or be square.
Rodney.
Bye.